Cybernetic Revolution is a core booster set in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Released in North America on August 6th, 2005, this set focused mainly on the machine-focused strategies of the characters from the GX anime, such as the two Truesdale brothers, Syrus and Zane. Archetypes such as the Roid monsters, as well as the Cyber Dragon series of cards debuted in this set. While not one of the strangest sets in the game, this one had quite a few bangers when it came to the weird. Not in the eldritch-type-beat way that a lot of the oldest sets had, but more of a wacky and goofy kind of weird. But without further ado, let's jump into the top 10 weirdest monsters in Cybernetic Revolution. First up on the list at number 10 is Tyranno Infinity. Tyranno Infinity is an Earth level 4 dinosaur effect monster with unknown attack and 0 defense with the following effect. The original attack of this card is the number of your banished dinosaur type monsters times 1000. Oh no, a big scary T-Rex with horns. Until writing this script and seeing it up close on my computer screen, I didn't even notice these sharp appendages sticking out of this thing's noggin. That definitely makes it kind of weird, but its effect also gives it some strange points for me. It's a less generic Grenmaju de Aiza, but instead of 400 attack, it gains 1000 per banished dino. This thing can get real scary if you open with the right hand in a dinosaur deck. A good number of their cards having to do with banishing other dinos. Listen, this one isn't super weird in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh, so it does go at the lowest spot on the list. And up next at our number 9 spot is Batteryman C. Batteryman C is a light level 2 thunder effect monster with 0 attack and 0 defense, with an effect that reads: if all Batteryman Cs you control are in attack position, all machine type monsters you control gain 500 attack for each Batteryman C you control. If all Batteryman Cs you control are in defense position, all machine type monsters you control gain 500 defense for each Batteryman C you control. Damn, this card is kinda shitty, if I'm being completely honest here. No, seriously, I'm actually just honest. You can't really see my face, but I'm literally that light level 4 fair. No, but this thing doesn't even support the archetype it's in, which are all thunder type monsters. Plus, even if it did, the effect is so laughably bad that it puts most cards that I talk about in these videos to shame. Alright, enough dunking on this little guy. He gets enough flack already. But the whole concept of humanoid batteries is just kind of goofy and weird to me. Listen, I don't want to sound like some woke liberal cuck here, but where are the battery women, huh? So much for DEI. Thanks, Mr. Konami. Anyway, the only thing I do find strange about Batteryman C is just the archetypes concept as a whole. So, not much else to say, folks. And at number 8 on the list is Cyber Archfiend. Cyber Archfiend is a dark level 4 fiend effect monster with 1000 attack and 2000 defense with this effect. At the beginning of your draw phase, if you have no cards in your hand, draw one more card in addition to your normal draw. During your end phase, if you have one or more cards in your hand, destroy this card. Come on, this thing's not even a machine type. Why you gotta do me like this, Konami? Why? I guess the name is on theme with the set name, so I guess that's a thing. Wait a minute, is this just an Infernity monster in disguise? Nah, they weren't even out when this set released. But I like to think Konami took some inspiration from this innocuous demon when fleshing out the Infernities. Wishful thinking, because this card really isn't even that good, but the reasons I find it so strange and why it's on the list is twofold. One is the fact that despite being made of metal and having cyber in the name, he's still a fiend. But also the effect, while pretty lame, is honestly pretty unique, incentivizing you to use all resources in your hand each turn, if only to get a morsel of draw power. God, what Yu-Gi-Oh players are willing to do for that sweet, sweet draw power. Although, I don't think even those down bad motherfuckers would run this card. It's got a big booty, if that's any consolation. And lucky number 7 is Poison Draw Frog. Poison Draw Frog is a water level 2 aqua effect monster with 100 attack and 100 defense, with an effect that says, when this face-up card on the field is sent to the graveyard, unless it was attacked while face down and is destroyed by battle, you can draw 1 card. Listen, it always makes it a bit weird when they literally show a Yu-Gi-Oh card on a Yu-Gi-Oh card. It's the type of fourth wall breaking that I love about this game. But anyway, in regular frog archetype fashion, this little guy can actually miss timing, which sucks because, like I said in our last entry, us Yu-Gi-Oh players are down bad for drawing. There are some weird rulings about how this card triggers as well, making it even stranger to me. I looked it up, and in the OCG, this card will trigger if attacked face down, but not in the TCG where I'm from. Yet when I played one of those older Xbox 360 era games, I distinctly remember this thing triggering from being destroyed while face down, despite having the TCG text on it. I remember being so damn confused about why that happened, even back then when I didn't have as much knowledge as I have now. Either way, from the artwork to the up rulings, Poison Draw Frog definitely makes the list, even if at a lower spot. And up next at number 6 is Dark Catapulter. Dark Catapulter is an Earth level 4 machine effect monster with 1000 attack and 1500 defense, which has an effect that reads, during your standby phase, if this card is in defense position, put 1 counter on this card. You can remove from play a number of cards in your graveyard equal to the number of counters on this card to destroy that many spell or trap cards on the field. Then remove all counters from this card. Yo, was this obscure card the inspiration for Dark Rebellion XZ's dragon? Like, the similarities are uncanny despite being a machine instead of a dragon. Anyway, our boy Dark Catapulter over here is kind of freaky looking. Not in a super scary way, but in a what the is this thing supposed to be kind of way, you feel me? Not only is the artwork weird, but the effect is oddly specific in its conditions, and is pretty unique. It's trying to emulate a more powerful version of Breaker the Magical Warrior, but falls way too short, not being nearly fast or generic enough. Protecting this thing with your life is the only way this thing gets any good value, and wasting resources on a crappy card when you could just be running MST is not worth it. I've noticed a lot of the weirdest cards in this set so far are also the shittiest in terms of playability. Maybe Konami wanted us to not even like these things so they can make more money off the good cards. I don't know. And about halfway through the list at number 5 is Roid. Roid is an Earth level 3 machine normal monster with 800 attack and 1000 defense with flavor text that says, the most lovable and friendly of all the Vehicroids. It can arm itself with training wheels. Yo, it's the ultimate unexpected die target. Where do I begin on why this living bicycle is strange to me? From the fact that he's a sentient bike with hands at the end of his handlebar arms and a singular, rather angry-looking eyeball, to the funny-ass flavor text that not only implies that it's friendly, despite looking a little peeved off in the artwork, but mentions that it arms itself with training wheels. That's both adorable and hilarious. Listen, if the existence of unexpected die makes this thing more viable than any of the effect Roid monsters, then damn, I gotta respect the hustle. And up next at number 4 is Jerry Beansman. Jerry Beansman is an Earth level 3 plant normal monster with 1750 attack and 0 defense, whose flavor text reads, Jerry, a bean soldier, believes he's the strongest warrior in the world, but his true abilities are still untested. Just when I thought the normal monster train was pulling into the station, we just decided to go off the rails with this iconic vanilla monster. Everything about him is weird, from the artwork being both cute and funny, to the whole concept of just a living bean that wields a sword and shield, all while having jelly beans as hands and feet, to the fact that his stats are way above the normal threshold for level 3 monsters. But the one thing that everyone talks about is the name. Fucking Jerry Beansman? Like, why did they choose his name to just be like a normal guy? Well, it all comes down to translation errors when this card came to the West. He's actually supposed to be called Jelly Beans Man, but because of accidental racism, Jelly was turned into Jerry. You could probably see why some may consider it a little racist, even if not purposeful. All in all, this little Bane soldier is both iconic and one of the weirder monsters in the set. And at number 3 is UFO Roid Fighter. UFO Roid Fighter is a light level 10 machine fusion effect monster with unknown attack and unknown defense, which requires UFO Roid plus 1 warrior type monster as materials to fusion summon, and has this effect. A fusion summon of this card can only be conducted with the above fusion material monsters. The original attack and defense of this card become equal to the combined original attack of the 2 fusion material monsters you used for the fusion summon of this card. It's not every day you get to see 2 completely separate archetypes fused together, but because anime, I guess, we've got the love child of Jaden Yuki and his best pal, Cyrus Truesdale. While needing any warrior type monster, The one depicted in the artwork is the one used in the anime, elemental hero Tempest, himself a fusion monster, and who would not even come out until next set. Despite how epic and iconic this card may be to some people, the effect is just not worth the effort to get it out. Sure, if you have Gate Guardian to summon this thing with, he'll be massive, but other than that, he'll usually just be okay. UFO Roid is also a weird monster, but I decided to only have 2 Roids on the list, one main deck and one extra deck, to keep the list more exciting. All of this culminates into why I think UFO Roid Fighter is such a strange monster. And the runner-up spot on our list at number 2 is Soitsu. Soitsu is a wind level 3 fairy normal monster with 0 attack and 0 defense with flavor text that reads, apparently totally unreliable. He wonders if he has incredible potential. Yo, this guy's got some cheeks, god damn! If you know the set intimately, you were probably expecting one of these guys, whom come directly from a Konami video game called Sexy Parodius, which is a parody of another Konami game series called Gradius. That alone is cause for some major weird points, since they're literally just pulling a guy from another franchise, even if owned by Konami, and putting him in card form. Unlike Aitsu, who released in a previous set and was also featured in one of my Weirdest Monsters list videos, this guy probably does not have great potential. This may be reflected by both of their levels, Soitsu being a lower level than Aitsu. At least Soitsu's level kinda matches his stats, although he really should be level 1. From the goofy artwork to the lore, to the references to other franchises, to the flavor text, Soitsu really deserves this runner-up spot on the list. But who could be even weirder than him? Let's find out. And the winner of the Weirdest Monsters in Cybernetic Revolution goes to Giant Kozaki. Giant Kozaki is a dark level 4 fiend effect monster with 2500 attack and 2400 defense with a horrible effect that says, if there is no face-up Kozaki on the field, destroy this card. If this face-up card is destroyed, inflict damage equal to the original attack of this card to its current controller. Holy shit, this thing came out of nowhere. Most of this list was monsters that were not really creepy or scary, but just goofy and wacky. This fucking abomination, though, is hitting that uncanny and eerie vibe that old Yu-Gi-Oh! Was known for. Despite being a giant robot version of its creator, Kozaki, it's still considered a fiend, which makes you question if they made it that type just because Kozaki is in the artwork, up there piloting his monstrosity, or is this robot more than just machine? Either way, it's an all-around strange-ass card. From the artwork of having our boy Kozaki up here just grinning as he pilots a machine of destruction that really is only destroying itself, both in the fact that it looks put together with duct tape, and the fact that its effect is so fucking awful that it literally blows itself up if Kozaki isn't on the field. Two set effect being one of those early high-statted but low-level monster effects that have a major downside. This thing basically almost has level 7 stats on a level 4, which is basically the highest I've seen on a level 4 monster go. So the downside just had to be one of the worst ones to create that balance, in quotes. It's so bad, in fact, that it's used in self-burn decks in Master Duel, since it's an instant way to burn more than a quarter of your own life points in one fell swoop. But that all aside, it's also what I consider to be the strangest monster in Cybernetic Revolution. Well, folks, another core set finished. In fact, we only have one more set in 2005, but you'll have to wait for next video for that one. But that's it for my time, guys. Remember to like the video, subscribe if you're new here to become a scrub-scriber, as well as becoming a channel member if you can afford it. And make sure to comment below what you think the weirdest monsters are in Cybernetic Revolution. And I will see you guys next time.